Dustin, how you feeling?
I feel great, man. It's always good when I can be in here talking to you guys.
How'd you feel about that performance, bro?
I felt really good, man. I was extremely nervous going out there. I think it kind of dawned on me why I was. It was just, I was coming off that big knockout in a packed arena, and I didn't want that to be the end. I wanted to be able to build off that and prove that that was no fluke. And I think I did that, and that's 4 knockouts in a row. Hopefully 4 bonuses in a row. That'd be pretty sweet. I'd be very thankful for that.
What was the game plan coming into the fight? And I guess were you expecting him to shoot sooner?
I knew he was going to shoot. The game plan was just be patient. Once again, let the game come to me. Patience and aggression. Aggressive patience, and that's my fighting style. And I know I have magic in my hands. I've got power in my hands. I truly believe in it, and I continue to show it.
I think this knockout and just proves your point that you need to get out of the fucking Apex, right? Like,
I agree, man. It felt like I got demoted after a big knockout in a packed house. But at the same time, perspective is everything, man. I've had a lot of success here at the Apex. On this card, I thought it was a great opportunity to go out there and steal the show. And that's exactly what I told myself in the back. This is your show. This is your time. Go steal it. Go make an impression. And I felt like the Apex needed a fighter like me, a fight like that, excitement. And I was, prepared to bring it.
I feel like you might be one of the better fighters too, like kind of like compare and contrast because you've been around for a long time. You fought in the Apex. You fought in front of thousands of people. I guess just like what's the difference between knowing that you're going to go out in front of thousands of fans and then coming in the Apex?
Well, I think I do a good job of ignoring the noise, and this is another example of that. Regardless if it's a crowd, regardless if it's nobody. I got to lock in, and I got to go out there and perform. I kept telling myself, you got 15 minutes of this entire day, man. This entire day, you got 15 minutes to change your life. That's it. And to go out there and seize the moment and just capitalize. And that's what I did. And I think the Apex is easy to lock into. When I'm here, it just seems underground, so to speak. It seems, like we're just at the gym sparring. And that's where I do my best work. And I do some good work here at the Apex.
So this is your second unranked Brazilian in a row. Like, are you hoping that you're gonna get another name for your next one? Or?
I would like to, man. My coach reminded me, I'm no stepping stone. I got into the top 15 and I earned my way into that top 15 and I held it for a little bit and I had a lot of wind taken out of my sails when I had that decision loss to Khalil Roundtree, and I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's no knock on Khalil Roundtree. The guy's a warrior. He's a great fighter. But that says a lot about me, too. If you go back to that fight, I think after the fight was fought, I was like minus 650 on the DraftKings to win that fight. And I was declared the loser, and that one stung, man. It took a lot of momentum. It took a lot of wind out of the sails, but you just got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and continue to put one foot in front of the other and keep swinging, as I always say. And, that's what I do best.
You're known for not really calling anybody out, but is there someone that you would like to fight in the rankings?
Any of them. You can line them up, man. I don't make that decision. I just know that I'm fully prepared for whatever they give me. I've been doing this a long time. I'm 37 years old. I've been fighting professionally for 15 years. It's crazy, It's like I said in the octagon, man, like a fine wine. I keep getting better. And, I think these performances are coming because of everything I've been through, because of this entire career. It wasn't built over one night, over one knockout, man. I've been doing this a really long time. That's where I get my confidence. That's where I get my faith. And I truly believe in myself and my team.
When would you like to return?
Well, I got to get this hand checked out. Everybody sees the quick knockout. I think I don't know, man. I'm going to let the x-ray tell me what's up, but I think I did something on that jab. I really hope not. I hope it's just pretty sore right now, but I think just getting older, man, it's always something after these fights, and that's the thing, man. The fights are the easy part. The training camp's the hard part, is being able to get up and go to the gym every day, have that same motivation, that same aggression. There's days I get up and I don't want to go wrestle people. I don't want to get beat up by Cody Brundage, but it's what I choose to do. You got to look past that. You got to continue put, like I said, one foot in front of the other and just keep on swinging.
And the last one for me, on the topic of fighting in front of fans, What's a venue that you got to fight in front of before all said and done? I mean, like Saitama Super Arena, MSG again. What's?
Yeah, I was really thinking about that, man. I had a great time at Madison Square Garden. I'd like to be back for that, maybe in November. I know the UFC is going to the United Center in Chicago in August. Hopefully, if my hand is okay and everything else lines up, I'd love to get that one back. It's crazy. I fought Chris Camozzi that night, who is now a longtime friend and longtime training partner. And my coach, Mark Montoya, was cornering against me that night in the United Center. And that's another thing that blows my mind, man. I've really seen this all the way through. And it's come full circle to, fighting against him and now fighting with him on my side. So I think that would be really cool. But again, we got to heal up and just let the cards fall where they may.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I know you said out there it's easy to kind of ignore the crowd when you get into that fight. Does it also mean you ignore the team when they say separate from them in the cage? I don't know if they tease you about this because it worked out in your favor. When you guys were clinched up and you were landing those bombs and those sick uppercuts, your team was saying separate, and you kept going at it.
Yeah.
Is there a point where you just feel it, you're feeling yourself, and you didn't want to separate from that moment because you had them hurt?
You're exactly right. We have a game plan, so I trust these guys. I know what they're saying, but I felt really strong there, and I felt like I was in control. And I did want to feel him a little bit. I wanted to feel what he felt like, and I knew when I hit him with that jab, I didn't know if he was playing a little rope-a-dope with me, or I thought he was hurt. And then when he backed off a little bit, I'm like, man, you got to go. When you smell blood in the water, be a shark. And that's what I do. I said it earlier, man. It's one of my 4 horsemen is my killer instinct, and that's one thing I've always had from the very beginning, man. When I see blood, I go for the kill, and it works to my advantage.
That jab was nasty. It definitely hurt him. I know even the commentary team, I think, mentioned it as well. I mean, is that something? I mean, you've always had a decent hands in the first place, but do you feel like your jab and your precision maybe is just getting better or fine wine, like you said?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, this camp was working behind the jab. It was everybody was telling me just work behind the jab, work behind the jab. I was really patient with it. I let him throw the first few strikes, and I was waiting for him to come at me. And I saw that opening, man. He had a big old dome on him, and I was able to land that jab and just work off of it.
And, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you talk about want to carry momentum. That's a finish that you carry momentum from right there.
Yeah, I want to see some highlights, man. I can just, you don't always – I feel it. I felt it when I was in there, but I want to see what it looked like. I'm excited to see those.
No, it was great. And a lot of times they say when you have those perfect punches, you don't even feel it because it looked like the precision was on. It socked him. I know you hurt your hand. You probably felt the jab, but did you feel those finishing ones at all?
Yeah, I did. We worked a lot on the bag this camp and just really getting the power from the ground. And when I was up on him and doing that, I felt it, man. I was staying on him and getting the power from the ground and just working everything we worked on, man. That's my confidence comes from my preparation. And I've said it before, I say it every single time. As long as I'm prepared, I fully expect to win. I never go in there thinking I'm going to lose. So as long as I'm prepared, man, I'm going to get that win.
Last for me, the commentary team kept saying, and I want to get the clarification, did your grandmother give you the nickname Hanyak, and what does that mean?
Yeah, so Hanyak's an aggressive athlete, a rebel without a cause. And the biggest thing, my twin brother and I, Darren, we when we were kids, my grandmother would always call us little Hanyaks when we were acting out, being crazy. And I was fighting in a Glory, my first night with Glory Kickboxing. It was an 8-man tournament. It was a Wednesday night. I got done sparring. I was training for a fight, and they called me up. Hey, man, this fight's on Friday, 24 hours. And I looked at it like, yeah, let's go, man. Let's look at it as some hard training for the fight. And that night I was getting my hands wrapped, and they're like, do you have a nickname? I said, no. Had my headphones in. They were walking away. I took it out. I was like, you know what I do? Tonight, call me the Hanyak. And I knocked everybody out that night, and the Hanyak stuck, man. February 1st, 2013. I'll never forget it.
That's incredible.
Congrats on the win. It blows my mind that somebody could be in the game for 15 years and still get nervous. But that's a great thing, right? Because if your dreams aren't big enough and don't scare you to death, then they're not worth dreaming.
Oh, you're exactly right, man. I think on Tuesday or Wednesday we got here. I always ask my buddy Caruso, corners me, Caruso, how does this guy beat me? And I told him, I'm not like nervous. He doesn't scare me. And he's like, that right there should scare you. And that moment right there, I don't forget it, man. I locked in. I was like, you're right. Like I got scared. I got nervous. And the biggest thing I was nervous on this one, like I said it before, I'm coming off a big knockout in a packed arena. I didn't want that to be the end. I wanted to build off that, and I wanted to carry that momentum. And again, it's just putting that pressure on myself, but that's where I thrive. And yeah, that's where I get it.
It's almost like and thank you for sharing that, by the way. That's awesome. It's almost like a gift and a curse, right? Like, oh, man, I got the big knockout. That's what I dreamt of as a little boy. And when I'm in training, this and that. But now people are like, dude, you got to do that all the time now.
I know, yeah, they fully expect it. And I tell you what, I fully expect it, man. If I go out there and I've never really laid an egg, you know. I can think of maybe a time or two where I wasn't my best. But I said it, like I say, man, I was prepared. And if I'm prepared, I fully expect to win.
Yes, sir. And let's talk about that killer instinct for a little bit, because you definitely harness that power. And I mean, I know it's like nanoseconds between getting knocked out and knocking someone out, but you really let your hands go. You had him hurt. I think Cassandra pointed out you knocked him out twice. I think you got him once and then woke him back up. And then in that corner, it was just take
well,
his head
and
off.
then that was another thing I was nervous about. I knew Bruno was very tough, and I knew I've seen him get rocked before, but he's like a zombie. He wakes up, and that's when he becomes stronger. And when I hit him with that jab and went down, I went in for the kill, and he was grabbing me. I felt him. His strength was still there, and I was like, this guy's still in it. And I just got to find the opening, and I was relentless, man. Just went for the kill. No hesitation, just kill, baby.
That's awesome, man. And last for me, there's been a couple bonuses here that kind of loom in, you know, some decisions, sure, but there's been a couple nasty finishes. How crazy would it be if you got that fourth bonus?
Man, that'd be awesome. You know, I'd be super grateful for that. I'm hoping I get it, but you know, I got the win, and that's the most important thing to me, to keep moving forward. And I don't know. I think they can't deny me. I think I'm gonna get it. We'll see, though.
Right on, my man. Just for fun, the song came out to that Go DJ. It's because that's your initials, or what's the
Yeah, that's my initial. That's what all my friends and family call me, DJ. I've been known by DJ for my whole life. So when I was an amateur, that was my only walkout song, and the place was bumping. I was telling my coaches and teammates that I had never walked out to that in the UFC. Even way back in October of 2011, I didn't walk out to it. I didn't walk out to it in my first run in the UFC. I never really walked out to it in a pro fight until last fight with Vitor Petrino. And in this fight, I got the email, what's my walkout song? I never really replied to it. They came back and said, we're going to stick with it. I'm like, that's fine by me, man.
Well, dude, now you can't not walk out to that.
Go DJ.
Forever DJ. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you, bro.
Oh, one for me. And actually, you had DC actually singing that song in the mic. So
He likes that,
he
little
was
Manny
hyped.
Fresh. He likes that.
No, he was definitely hyped. You said that, you know, your coach actually cornered against you, and then, you know, sparring, I mean, you fought someone who's actually in your corner. After 10 years in the game, you start to see things that you saw at the beginning. And when did it click for you that it was best maybe not to burn bridges, but to look at kind of, you know, the fact that it was going to become a smaller circle the more successful you became and the longer you stayed around?
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's one thing I think I've always lived by. I try not to burn any bridges. You know, you never know when you're going to need somebody. And another thing I've heard and just always fully believed in is the same people you pass on the way up are going to be the same people you pass on the way down. So you just got to keep that respect and love for everybody and keep trucking.
Did you trip out at how similar your knockout of Vitor Petrino was to Usman and
You know, I didn't even think about it. A lot of people, of course, I saw the video and comparing it. In fact, I thought mine was a little cleaner. I thought mine was a little better, but that's just me, you know, thinking that. But yeah, man, that was a great one. And again, I wanted to build off of it. I didn't want that to be the end. So that focus and that determination got me through this one.
It was just weird how similar, because it's like he even fell how George fell. And
Yeah, it was very similar, man. And hopefully I can duplicate that many times over. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.